Okay, guys, so for today class, we're actually going to be checking trending designs for both websites and app UI. But firstly, we are going to be checking for websites, okay? So remember, I told you Dribble, Google, Behance, and Pinterest should always be your friend. That is where you come for reference, okay? So now let's go to Google and we go ahead and search for trending websites UI. Okay, so go ahead and type trending websites UI. Trending website UI. Okay, go ahead and click on images, and you see images of trending websites, things that things that employers want to see when they ask you to actually design. They are different. You have the shopping, you have the clothing store, you have the technology, you have different type of websites. Okay, so this is how you actually check for trending designs on Google. Okay, you can go ahead and click on anyone you wish to go ahead and maybe either recreate or get inspiration from. For example, maybe you are given the job to design for a furniture site and you come to Google and you decide to search furniture website UI. These are some of the things that you're going to see. You go ahead, click on anyone, and the good thing is when you go to Dribble, you click on it, you go to Dribble directly. Please try to create a Dribble account. It is very simple to do that. So just go ahead and create a Dribble account. You can see Trends website UI. Okay, you can see it also here. You can just come here and search for trending websites too on Dribble, just the same way we did on Google. So when you the one we clicked now, you scroll down to check for that particular. I think this is the one we clicked, so you can click on it and then you see the image coming out. You can go ahead and download. You right click and you save image as. When you save image as, it's actually going to save um as a web file. Okay, I already decided for us to create something relating to technology, and this is the site that I'll be creating for you. But I'll go ahead and give you the opportunity to also create something um, for yourself. Okay, that will be your assignment. So I already downloaded it here, and I'll go ahead and drag it into Figma. Now I'm opening my Figma, and remember, when you want to create, you always go to the home page and click on new Figma design. So let's hold on, my Figma is booting. Okay, let's hold on a bit. I think Figma is having kind of an issue. So let's hold on to it loads. Okay, click on new design file and it will create a new file for us to work with. Let's wait for it to load. When it's done loading, we can go ahead and drag our downloaded inspiration in. We call it inspiration. We drag it there and we start creating. Okay, we start creating. So you go online and get inspirations from Pinterest, Dribble, and Google. Yeah, by using the right keywords. For example, if you want to create something relating to shopping, you go ahead and type shopping website UI. If you want to create something relating to farming, you go ahead and type in agric website UI or technology website UI, anything you want to create. Okay, so this is how we check trending websites that we can actually join in creating. Okay, so after we learn how to create for websites, we're actually going to go ahead and create for mobile. But there's something I noticed in the assignments that you all submitted, that you actually don't work well with your margin. So while creating this, I'm actually going to talk a little bit on margin and grid, how to use the provided grid system in Figma. So that's what we're actually going to discuss today. So it is still loading. Let's go ahead and create on the click on frame, and we'll be working with desktop. You can just go ahead and select desktop, MacBook, anyone, or ordinary desktop. So I'm selecting desktop and pressing Ctrl minus to reduce it. Okay, reduce it, and you drag to increase the length, because we're going to be creating a full website. So let's go ahead and rename this as technology, or no, sorry, let's name it as the home, because this is the home page. We're naming it home because that is the home page. Now go to your Chrome and you drag what you've downloaded into Figma. Okay, you drag what you've downloaded into Figma and you paste it there, and it's actually going to open up for you. Yeah, so this is it. Hold shift and increase so that you can actually see what you're working with. So this is what we are working. Let's shift it closer so that we can see it. So this is the inspiration we're actually working with. So the first thing we're actually going to do is to go ahead and use the rectangle tool and draw our slider or our background for the first page, which we're actually going to see. And let's go ahead and give it a color. Click on the color palette and you give it a color. I actually want to work with pink. So I'll go online and type pink color code. Pink color code, and I'll get the color for pink color code. You can see different type of pink: magenta, fuchsia, dark purple, red, and the rest type of pink. Okay, so um I'm going for a dark pink. I don't want a bright pink, so let me click this and see all the color codes that you can work with. See all the color codes that you can work with. So I want to work with FE036A, FE036A. So let's go ahead and type it: FE036A. Yep, so that is what I want to actually work with. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a logo for this particular technology brand. Okay, so let's just come up with a name. Let's say um Tech 2020. Tech 2020. So we're going to create a logo for Tech 2020. I'm actually going to work with a text logo. So just click on the text icon and type caps lock tech. So I've typed text, but it's really small. So we go ahead and increase it so that we see what we're actually working with. Okay, so this is it. Tech. Let me increase my screen so it's easy for you to see. This is tech. Let me use capital letter T. Or we could use, okay, came up with another name, Tech 24/7, Tech 24/7. Yep. So we can go ahead and use this as our logo. But I want to use this 24/7 as the icon. So I highlight it and I'll try to increase it a bit. Yeah, so I tried to increase it a bit and change the color, so we could still go ahead and check for what colors work best with pink. But for this particular for this particular project, I want to use just white for my text. So um yeah, I want to go ahead and search for a text font or a font that I can use. So I'll just go ahead and scroll and try to see which one would work for it. I want something thick. Go ahead and click on your drop down and browse through and see which one will actually work with what you're going with. Okay. So I want to reduce the spacing, the letter spacing between the two of them so that it looks more like an icon. So this tech, I still want to use the same text. We use Litos Pro. So let's see how it's going to look like. Litos Pro. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm liking this. I think I'm actually liking this. Let's see whether I could change the color. Let's see if I can change the color. Let's say a blue, or use this fill icon to get the blue here. And okay, I don't like the blue, so we'll go ahead and work with the white. We're going ahead to work with the white. So I'm using this for red. This is regular and this is the black. So you could go ahead and create something for yourself. So this is the logo that I'm actually going to be using for this brand. Okay. So we can go ahead and save it as an image so that we could increase and decrease it as we want together, because they are both styled differently. Both tech is styled differently from 24/7. Okay, so export, click on it, export, and yeah, click on export, and it's going to take you to your file manager. Yeah, it's loading. Okay, yeah, so Let's go ahead and name it Tech 24/7 logo, and we save it to where you know you can remember. I saved it to my download. Okay, it's not valid because it has this slash here. Tech 24/7. Okay. So yeah, can bring this out. Yeah, and just place here. And come to your farm manager, go to wherever you saved your logo. I saved mine in downloads, so I'm going to downloads, and this is it. So I'm going to drag and bring inside Figma. So I've brought mine inside Figma, and it's now an image. Okay, it is now an image. So you hold shift and you make it smaller and place here. But before we place, I said I was going to show you how to work with the grid system. So click on your desktop or your home, whatever you named it. Come to the layer, to the styling panel, and you see layout grid. When you click on it, click on layout grid, you see the grid. You see the grid, it came out. See it, it came out here. So you click on it, click on the grid, and we're not going to use grid, we're going to use columns because grids are very, very small. You actually can't work with them. So we're going to use columns, and yeah, you can see, we can actually see this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and use 10 as our count. We're going to use 10 boxes as our count. 1 2 3 4 until it's 10. Okay, that is what it means. Then for the margin is the side, how, what spacing do we want by the side? Okay, so I'm going to use 40 for the margin. You can see the margin, this big line here, this big line. So that is where I actually want whatever I'm working with to start from. Okay, so yeah, that is how you work with the grid. And when you're done designing and you don't want grid just helps you actually work with your margin appropriately. Okay, now if you don't want to work with your grid anymore, you want to see your actual design, you come here to still the styling panel, and you close it, you off it with the eye icon. Okay, you off it with the eye icon, but we're going to be working with it, so we on it. Okay, so we on it, and you see our tech for dev, that is our logo. We shift it inside. Let's shift it inside. Click on your logo and shift it inside until it is on that line, this line. It is on this line. Okay, this line here. So yeah, until it is on that line. So let's say this is register and this is sign in. Okay, we need a button for register and sign in, but before that, we're actually going to be downloading this kind of 3D icons, this 3D box icon here. So let's see if you're actually going to see it. So go to your browser and type pink color 3D 3D box or rectangle, because that looks like a rectangle, PNG. So we go ahead and check the one that would actually fit what we want there. Or the best we can do is actually come to Figma and use our plugin, right click, use plugins, go to icons 8, and we check for illustrations. So icons 8 is loading. Let it finish loading. Okay, so we go ahead and go to illustrations and type 3D. Let's see, 3D rectangle. We could use rectangle, we could use squares. Not a must to get exactly what they got. We're just using it for inspiration to know how we're actually going to work. So let's indicate it as pink. We want pink. Yeah, so we could decide to use anything here. We could decide to use anything here. Okay, so anything that relates to tech, especially anything that relates to whatever you're doing. So what I'm doing actually is for tech, so I'm actually looking for something relating to tech. So let's still keep searching. Let's keep searching. But I think I like this. But let's still keep searching. Maybe we'll see something like a laptop or so. So we're still searching. But I'm not seeing anything relating to that. So that first one I said I think I liked. I think I'm gonna go back to that, and we're actually going to work with that one in particular. So let's go back. We go back. Okay, I think I like this. Was it this? I don't know. But I think I like this, and something like an arrow icon I saw that I also liked that we can work with. I think I like this too. Nope, I don't want SVG, I want the PNG. Remember to always select the PNG version of it. The PNG version of it. Okay, I think I like this too. Okay, so 3D, pink 3D tech. Let's type pink 3D tech and we'll decide whatever one we want to go for. Or let's search office. Office. So you keep scrolling until you see what you like. Keep scrolling until you see what you like. So we're just trying to get what we like to design our site. I think I like this. So yeah. So you could decide to choose whatever you like that you feel fits whatever you're designing, okay? So now let's go ahead and style, okay? So we could go ahead and off our grid so that we see what we're designing. So this is what we picked. Hold shift and you style. Hold shift and style. Hold shift and style. Okay. Hold shift when you're reducing and increasing. So I want this to be 2, so I control D and it is 2. And yeah, so I want to reduce the transparency. Hold both of them. That's by pressing shift. Come to the image, you can see image here, and reduce to 50 or whatever number you want to reduce to. So I'm trying, let me try 30. So I think 30 works fine. Well, let me reduce it more. Yeah, good. So I think 30 works fine. 30 works fine for me. Then this excited woman here, as the other one we brought in. Where is her? Okay, she's hiding here. So let's bring it to this point. Yep. So this is her. We'll go ahead and reduce to make it fit. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and reduce to make it fit. So just play around with it. Play around with it. Let's see if we can reduce that to 50 and see how it's going to look. Yeah, I blended in. So I think I prefer it like that. And this lady here. Yep. So what do we have here? We have a line. So let's go ahead and get that line. So yep. So get the line using the line tool. We hold shift and we drag. Hold shift and you drag. The line is black but we want white, so click on the color icon and change to white. Yep. And let's try to increase the stroke. Let's give it a 2 and we reduce the fill to something like 40. Yeah. I think we need to increase it more because I don't like how it looks. So let's give it a 3 and reduce the fill more to like 20. And I think I prefer this. Yeah, so I think I prefer this. Okay, so this is where the logo is because we're working with the grid, and now we need a register and sign up button. Okay, so I'm going to be working, the text I'll be working with is Inter. I'm working with Inter text, so let's go ahead and type register. Register. Okay, so Inter, yeah, that's Inter. I don't want regular, I want it to be bold. So I'll be working with bold. Okay, no, the bold is too bold. Okay, so I'll be working with semi bold and we reduce it some like 24. Let's see. Yeah, I think 24 works perfectly. So make sure it aligns with this one, the logo. Make sure it's in the middle of the logo or in the bottom of where the logo is. So anyone that works. So okay, so we'll go ahead and we're using 24 as the size. So I think 24 is too big, so let's go ahead and use 20. 20. So yeah, this is 20, and we'll go ahead and draw a box for our button. So what color are we actually pairing off with this pink? I think white is better. We're pairing off white with the pink, or should we try this color here? Let's see. Nope, it's not working. So I think the white works better. So this is the white. Then we'll go ahead and copy this text. Use the Alt or Control D. Copy the text because we want the same size. We want uniformity. So make sure it aligns properly, and it's not showing because it's white and it's in the under. Remember we talked about this in class. So we'll bring it to the top, and change the color to the particular pink we're using. Change the color to the pink we're using. Then for the box, I want to actually style the box. I want it rounded. So when you want it rounded, you come to this particular place here, this center corner radius, and you hold and drag to continue changing the number of your corner radius. What it does is that it rounds your rectangle. Okay, it rounds, make your rectangle round. So yeah, you can see it there. We ended up using 20. So go ahead and type um log in. Log in is still the same thing as make sure login is still the same thing as sign up. Okay, let's use sign up because I think that is more modern. SIGN um up, sign up. Yeah, so make sure it is in the middle. Yeah, Figma will show you when it is in the middle. So yeah, we've gotten our two buttons, but I still think we should reduce this a bit. So let's try 30 so that we can see our register and sign in, so that it properly blends in. So you can see it there. Let's try to bring our logo in a bit, and group this because it is a button. Okay, Control G, come here and rename it sign up button. Okay, SIGN button. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, always learn to rename your things you're working with. Okay, rename them and all. So the next thing we'll be working with is this text here. Work with experts who can deliver world class services. Okay, work with experts who can deliver world class services. So let's go ahead and type. Remember, we're still working with Inter. Make sure that the text you're using in the beginning is the same text you maintain to use at the end. Okay, and remember we're maintaining this margin here. So yeah, we're maintaining the margin. So we come here and type what was there. Work with world class. Work with experts who can deliver World class services. Okay. Work with. Could use work with world class experts who can deliver top notch services. So just go ahead and be creative. Who can? Okay. So from here, we bring this down and yep. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and style this. We'll be working with bold. Let's see how that pans out. So bold, and let's try to increase our text to a bigger one. Okay, this is too big. Okay, so I think this is a little bit better. Let's bring it here. Okay. Okay, so I want to remove this. Okay, yeah. So I want to bring this to the top. Okay, I want to remove this word class so that it is not too big. Let's maintain something small that would also come out nice. So work with experts who can deliver top-notch services. I think our spacing is okay. I think our spacing is okay. Then we need a small text here. We could decide to write anything in that text, but me, I don't want to start coming up with something to write there. So let's shift this inside a bit so that we still have space for this particular thing here, or we could put it down. So let's continue though. Yeah, so it's aligned, and go ahead and type again. Okay, well, me, I don't want to start typing things, so I just type to get the size, type anything to get the size. Go ahead, reduce it so that it is smaller than what we have there. Let's, okay, we could use a 16. We could use a 16, and let's give it a spacing that's the line height. Okay, so we give it proper line height, and instead of using bold, I want to use semi bold or medium, anyone. Make sure it's properly aligned with this particular text here. Yeah, so it's properly aligned. I want to go ahead and type more. I'm just typing things, okay? I'm going to tell you a plugin to install to get the dummy font or the dummy text, okay? So I right click, come to plugins, go to save plugins. I already have it installed, so if you don't have it installed, you know how to install it. I taught you how to install. Go to install, type Leorem Ipsium in your resources panel for the plugin, and go ahead and install Leorem Ipsium, and it will load. So when it loads, what it does is it actually generate dummy text for you for the particular layer you're working with. So I want two paragraphs, and I click on generate, and yeah, it gave me a lot. but I don't want this a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and delete the one I don't want. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead, delete the ones I don't want and leave the ones I want. So Lorem Ipsum is more or less like a dummy text if you don't know what you want to type in that particular place. So you can see it's coming up, it's looking nice. So what is left is we have a call to action button here. That's the get started now. So let's go ahead and create this. Remember, you have to maintain consistency. If you're using a rounded button here, you continue using a rounded button. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this button here. I'm going to show you how to create components, that is buttons, and you continue using them. We copy this button here and we go ahead and increase the triangle, the rectangle there, because we want it a little bit bigger. Hold shift and increase. Okay, I think this is big enough. So let's go ahead and type get started now. Get started. Okay, this is in caps lock. We don't want caps lock. Get started now. Okay, yeah. So this is cool. Let's make sure it's aligned. Then we reduce it. This is 16. We could go ahead and use something like 17, and yeah, that works. And we align it. So yeah, this is our button. You can see it's coming on. It's looking okay. So we need this. We need something like this. But okay, I don't want it to be here. I want it to be probably somewhere under. Okay, somewhere under. So let's go ahead and use our icons. Our icons. But first, let's get the circle. Okay, go ahead, click on ellipse, and you draw your circles. You draw your circles. Is Let me use 49 49 so it is the same. Okay, make sure it is aligned properly. Okay, so I'm removing the fill. Remove the fill. Use the stroke. Change the stroke color to white. Yeah, and increase the stroke to probably 2. Yeah, or 3. Let's try 3. Yeah, and we reduce the fill, the opacity to something like 70. Yeah, I think it's looking nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate. We need 3 of it. Control D, bring it to the front. Okay, I don't want it in the front anymore. I want it here. So make sure it's on the same line. Okay, and another Control D. Yep, so we have it there. And we want something like an arrow button. Click on the shape tool, come to arrow, and you draw. Hold shift and you draw. You don't want a big arrow. Change the fill of the arrow to white. Yeah, so we've gotten our arrow. Let's shift all these circles. Let's shift all these ellipses with the arrow to the top. Cool. Our site is looking good. So we go ahead to download icons. Okay, we need a video icon, or let's say no, we need a LinkedIn icon, Facebook and Twitter. So hold shift. Sorry, press your right click. Go Jerry. Right click. Okay. Right click. Go to plugins. Go to let's use Font Awesome. Font Awesome icon. So it's loading. Let's wait till it loads. Remember, we're looking for LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Okay, we got Facebook. I think we just need the F. Okay, do it again. And we need Twitter. This is Twitter. And do it again. And plugins go to for awesome. And we got LinkedIn. Yeah, so this is LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. So we've gotten the three that we need, and these are where they are. Let's remove them from the frame. Click on every one of them. Hold control and click on every one of them. Drag them inside your home. Yeah, so these are where they are. Yep. And let's bring them here and try to arrange them in the circle where they're supposed to be. Okay, so hold on all of them by holding shift. Come to the color and change it to white because we're working with white and pink. So you can see our site is coming up. Now let's try to decorate something here. Let's try to get this here. And we can do that using our rectangle. Let's go to our rectangle, draw a very small rectangle. Yeah, so this is the rectangle. And let's press Ctrl D to duplicate. Ctrl D, 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 D. Yep. And select all of it. Select all of it. Ctrl G, Ctrl D again to duplicate it. Bring it down. Ctrl D again and D again. Okay, I think that's too much. A bit. Let's delete that last row. So all this row, group one, group two, group three, hold it and hold all of them together and change to white. White, yes. And reduce the fill to like 20, or let's do 30. Yeah, so we got our design. Um so we could bring it down here. I want one down here. Hold Alt as to copy, or Control D, and I want one down here, up here, sorry, and I still want one here. Yeah, so our site is coming on and it's looking nice already. So we've gotten this particular part. So it is to get this other part that is remaining. So I'm sure you guys should be able to do that. Okay, you guys should be able to do that. So go ahead and replicate a site for me. Okay, go ahead and replicate a site for me using all the things you've been taught in class. Go ahead and replicate something that is trending. Okay, things like this that are trending, go ahead and do it. I'll be expecting your assignment. So this is what you're supposed to do for today's class. You all go ahead and replicate a trending website UI that you like. Okay, give me something nice, wow me. Okay, so yeah, this is the end of this recording. So I'll be expecting your assignment. Yeah, go ahead and create. You know how to get this particular icon. You know how to write your text. You know the plugin to install to get your dummy text. You can replicate this, change the color, get your button. I've taught you how to get your buttons here, so it shouldn't be something that is hard. So just go ahead and apply all the knowledge, sorry, that you've gotten, and let me see you turn in your assignments. All right. So thank you very much. See you in the next video on the next class.